Next time you fly, take a close look at your window, not at the view outside, at the glass itself. At the very bottom of that oval frame, you'll spot a tiny hole, barely visible, about the size of a pinhead. Your first thought, a defect, a crack, something broke. You reach for the call button. Don't. That hole is saving your life right now. Without it, the aircraft would most likely have come apart before it even finished climbing. Welcome to the secret life of things. Today, the story of one small hole that holds the sky together.
To understand why that hole exists, you first need to understand what's happening outside the aircraft at cruising altitude. At 10 to 12 kilometers up, the temperature outside drops to minus 60 degrees Celsius. There's barely any atmospheric pressure, about half of what you feel on the ground. Without an oxygen mask, a person would lose consciousness in under a minute. That's why the cabin is sealed and pressurized, pumped up like a tank. Inside, the pressure is maintained at roughly the equivalent of 2,000 meters altitude. Comfortable for people, but it creates enormous stress on the fuselage walls and, especially, on the windows. Every window faces a pressure difference: near vacuum outside, pressurized air within. That force literally tries to push the glass outward on every single flight, thousands of times, every day.
An airplane window isn't a single pane of glass. It's a system of 3 layers. The outer pane takes all the pressure from outside. It's thick, made from high-strength acrylic, and designed to hold the entire pressure differential on its own. The middle pane is the backup. It exists in case the outer pane cracks or fails. Under normal conditions, the middle pane carries no load at all. It simply waits. This is where the hole comes in. It sits in the middle pane. Engineers call it a breather hole. Its job? Equalize the pressure between the gaps separating the 2 panes and the cabin air. This means the middle pane always sits at the same pressure as the interior and never takes any stress. All the load goes to the outer pane alone. If that outer pane ever cracks, the middle pane instantly picks up the load and holds the structure together. The tiny hole serves one more function that almost nobody knows about. As the plane climbs, the temperature difference between the warm cabin and the freezing outside air causes condensation. Moisture settles on the glass and turns to frost or ice. This would completely block your view. The breather hole vents the humid air out from between the panes into the space where it instantly evaporates at minus 60 degrees. That's exactly why airplane windows don't fog up or freeze from the inside, even on the coldest flight. One tiny hole, less than a centimeter across, simultaneously manages pressure, protects against structural failure, and prevents the glass from fogging. This isn't a design flaw. It's one of the most elegant engineering solutions in the history of aviation. Every time you look out the window and see clouds below the wing, you're trusting hundreds of small, invisible decisions. Hundreds of holes, layers, valves, and calculations working in silence, precisely so you never have to think about them. Next time your plane reaches altitude and you lean against the window, look down. Find that tiny hole. And no, it didn't end up there by accident. Someone very clever put it exactly there. If this episode surprised you, hit like and subscribe to The Secret Life of Things. And tell me in the comments, had you ever noticed that hole before? See you in the next story.